Hi friends, good morning. Myself, I am D. Kishore, lecturer in physics, Government Degree College for Women, Siddipet. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is applications of Gauss law. So here we have three applications. So here we are discussing very important applications now. So that is electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere. Okay, electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere. So here we have to find the electric field intensity of a charged sphere by using a Gauss law. Okay, this is the first application. So now we will start this proof. See, charged sphere. So consider a sphere. Okay, I am drawing this side. Consider a sphere of center O and radius R. So this is a sphere of center O and capital R is the radius. Okay, so here uniformly charged means so it has charges on the surface that is uniformly. Okay, so now it is uniformly charged. So here now we have to find this find the electric field intensity. Okay, electric field intensity of this uniformly charged sphere in three different cases. So first one is outside the sphere, and second one is on the surface of the sphere, and third one is on the inside the charged sphere. So we have three cases again. So first case is, I am writing, see here, case 1. So case 1 where, so here outside the charged sphere. So here in the first case we have to find the electric field intensity by using of Gauss law at outside the charged sphere. Okay, so see here. So I will draw this again. So here this is the charged sphere of center O and radius R. So consider a point P which is at outside the sphere. Okay, so this is at the distance smaller from the center of the sphere. Okay, so you consider a point P at the distance of smaller which at outside the sphere. Okay, so now we have to find the electric field intensity at point P. Okay, so for this I am now imagine another sphere. So consider, so here imagine another sphere of center O and radius R. So here this sphere, this imaginary sphere is also called as Gaussian sphere. Okay, so దీని ఏమంటున్నామంటే ఇక్కడ మనం ఇమాజినరీగా అనుకున్నటువంటి ఈ స్పియర్ ను గాసియన్ స్పియర్ గా తీసుకుంటారు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ సో in order to determine the electric field intensity at P, so consider a small area of length. So suppose the total area of this sphere S అయితే next small area will be ds. Okay, the small area will be ds. Here the electric field vector and radius vector, so the electric field vector and radius vector will be in the same direction. Why? Because it is uniformly charged. Okay, this is uniformly charged, that's why here electric field vector and radial vector, okay, area vector, so these are in same direction, that's why the angle between these two will be 0. Okay, so now the equation part will be like, see, so first we have to know the electric flux at a point ds, at a point ds. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ ఈ ds వద్ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ flux అనుకోవాలి. So we know that electric flux d pi is equal to E dot ds. Yesterday previous topics we have discussed about electric flux. So here the electric flux will be equal to the E dot ds, or we can simply write E ds cos theta. So again I am writing E ds cos theta value, again E ds, because here theta value 0, that's why cos 0 value will be equal to 1. So that's why again here I am writing E dot ds or E into ds. Okay, so this is electric flux because of a small area of ds, at area ds. So ds area వలన ఏర్పడినటువంటి ఫ్లక్స్ వచ్చేసి ఇది. మనకు టోటల్ వచ్చేసి టోటల్ ఫ్లక్స్ డ్యూరింగ్ దిస్ గాసియన్ సర్ఫేస్ అప్పుడు ఏం రాసుకుంటే టోటల్ ఫ్లక్స్. సో టోటల్ ఫ్లక్స్ is equal to integration d pi. So again integration E ds, E ds, E into s. So here s, what is s here? So very important, s is the area of the sphere, area of the sphere, area of the sphere. So what is the area of this Gaussian sphere? So that is equal to the formula 4 pi r square, where smaller is the radius of this Gaussian sphere. Smaller is the radius of the Gaussian sphere. So we have to know that formula, s equal to 4 pi r square. S means area of the sphere. So again I am writing E into s value 4 pi r square. Okay, so this is equation 1. Now we know that from Gauss law, we know the formula what? Pi is equal to q by epsilon naught. This is equation 2. Okay, we know the formula of Gauss law. Electric flux is equal to 1 by epsilon naught to the charge enclosed within the surface. Okay, from 1 into C, from 1 into E into 4 pi r square, E into 4 pi r square is equal to q by epsilon naught. రెండు పై ఇది పై కాబట్టి రెండింటిని ఈక్వల్ చేస్తున్నాను. సో ఈ ఇంటూ ఇది ఈక్వల్ ఇది వస్తుంది. సో సింప్లిఫై చేసినటువంటి ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు దీని ఈ విధంగా వస్తున్నాను 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Okay, so here E capitally indicates electric field intensity at a point P. Okay, so where q is the charge and smaller is the radius of this Gaussian sphere. Okay, so simply we can write E proportional to 1 by r square. Okay, so this is the first case. So here first case we have found the outside the charge sphere. Okay, so next we will go to the second case. Okay, now second case. So second case is on surface of the charge sphere. So in the first case we have seen that outside of the charge sphere, and here second case is on the surface of the charge sphere. So here, see here, this is the sphere of center O and radius capital. So this is uniformly charged. Okay, this is uniformly. So now we have to find the, so here in the first case we are already found that the electric field intensity at outside the sphere. Now in the second case we have to find the electric field intensity at the surface of the sphere, charge sphere. So that's why consider a point P. In order to determine the electric field intensity on the surface of the sphere, consider a point P, which is on the surface of the sphere. So here see the point P. P ekkada undi ikkada ante surface paina undi. So next to the distance from P to O, center of the sphere, smaller anukuntunna. Okay, smaller is the distance between O to P. Okay, so here see from the diagram we are understood that capital is equal to smaller. మనకి ఏం తెలుస్తుంది from the diagram? Capital అనేది smaller గా తెలుస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఆల్రెడీ ఇన్ ద ప్రీవియస్ ఉన్నటువంటి కేస్ 1 లో మనం ఏం అనుకున్నాం సార్ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చినటువంటి E ఈక్వల్ టు 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square ఈ ఫార్ములాలో. సో ఇది సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ అయితే E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital బదులు స్మాల్ రాస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, స్మాల్. Okay, so we can write simply E proportional to 1 by r square. So this is the second case. It is very simple. So in the second case we are ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ అంటే మనకు సర్ఫేస్ పైన ఏమవుతుంది, స్మాల్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు క్యాపిటల్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి మనకు ఆల్రెడీ తెలుసు ఈక్వల్ 4/4 2 by r square కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ క్యాపిటల్ బదులు స్మాల్ ఆర్ సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ అయితే మనకు we are getting second case. Okay, that is on the surface of the charge sphere the electric field intensity will be E equal to 1/4 2 by r square. So this is the second case. Okay, now case 3. So what is case 3? Inside the charged sphere. So in the case 3 we have to find the electric field intensity at inside the charged sphere. See, once you see the diagram. So this is the sphere of center O and radius capital. Okay, so this is uniformly charged sphere. So that's why, so here I am writing charges at the surface of the sphere uniformly. So this is the uniformly charged sphere of center O and radius capital. So in the first case we have to we already find that the electric field intensity at outside the charged sphere. So that is first case. In second case on the surface of the charged sphere. This also we have find that. Now the third case is inside the charged sphere. ఓకే, ఈ చార్జ్డ్ స్పియర్ లోపల మనం ఏదో ఒక బిందు తీసుకుని ఆ బిందు వద్ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఇంటెన్సిటీ కనుక్కోవాలి. సో దానికోసం ఏం చేస్తున్నానంటే, సో కన్సిడర్ ఏ పాయింట్ P. సో ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు ఫైండ్ ద electric field intensity at point P. So here see, generally the distance from O to P smaller అనుకుంటున్నాను. Okay, the distance between O to P. So P ఎక్కడ ఉంది చూడండి, inside the charged sphere. So ఇక్కడ P అనే బిందువు ఉంది, ఏం కలిపి నేను electric field intensity అనుకోవాలి. So in order to find the electric field intensity at P, construct or imagine a imaginary sphere. ఈ imaginary sphere ఇంకేమంటారు సార్ అంటే, that is called as Gaussian sphere అని కూడా అంటారు. Okay, so in order to determine the electric field intensity at P, which is inside the sphere. Okay, so construct a Gaussian sphere. So now the area of this Gaussian sphere will be, sorry, area may not, the radius of this Gaussian sphere will be smaller. Okay, next to consider a small area which is at P. P వద్ద ఒక చిన్న ఏరియా ఎలిమెంట్ తీసుకున్నట్లయితే దాని యొక్క ఏరియా ఏమవుతుంది, సపోజ్ ద టోటల్ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎలిమెంట్ స్పియర్ S అనుకున్నట్లయితే దిస్ వాల్యూ విల్ బి ds అవుతుంది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఇది యూనిఫామ్లీ చార్జ్ కాబట్టి ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ E అండ్ ds ఎలా ఉంటుంది సార్ అంటే ఈక్వల్ గా ఉంటుంది, బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ యూనిఫామ్లీ చార్జ్ కాబట్టి ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ వెక్టర్ అండ్ ఏరియా వెక్టర్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి సార్ అంటే సేమ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి ద యాంగిల్ బిట్వీన్ దిస్ టూ విల్ బి ఈక్వల్ టు 0. ఈ సేమ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి యాంగిల్ అనేది వాటి మధ్య 0 గా ఉంటుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈక్వేషన్ పార్ట్ కి వెళ్దాం. సో ఫస్ట్ ఏం అనుకోవాలి అంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఆ ds ఎలిమెంట్ వద్ద ఏం అనుకోవాలి సార్ అంటే ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ ఎట్ పాయింట్ P. ఓకే, ఆఫ్ ds ఎలిమెంట్ యొక్క ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ ఏమవుతుంది సార్ అంటే మనకు, సో దట్ ఈస్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ d by E is equal to E dot ds. EDS గా రాసుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ అగైన్ వి నో దట్ EDS ఏం వస్తుంది సార్ అంటే EDS cos theta. ఓకే, అగైన్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ EDS only because theta is the 0. What is theta here? The angle between electric field vector and area vector. Okay, these are the same direction, means the angle between these two is 0. So cos 0 value how much? Cos 0 value will be 1. So that's why I am writing EDS cos theta equal to E into ds. Okay, so now the total flux of the Gaussian surface. Total Gaussian surface. మన Gaussian surface లో చిన్న ఎలిమెంట్ యొక్క ఎలిమెంట్ వద్ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ తీసుకున్నాం కదా. ఇప్పుడు the total flux of this Gaussian surface from the Gaussian surface. You can write pi is equal to ఏం రాసుకోవచ్చు ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ds. ఆర్ సింప్లీ ఇంకా సింపుల్ చెప్పాలంటే ఇలా ఇలా రాస్తున్నాను అండ్ అగైన్ ఈడిఎస్. ఓకే, అగైన్ ఐమ్ రైటింగ్ సి ఈ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ds. ఈ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ds means s. Okay, what is s here? So already just now I told that s is the area of the sphere. So what is the area of the sphere? Area, that value equal to the 4 pi r square. Area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. So I am writing E 4 pi r square. Okay, this is equation 1. Okay, so next very important, see here, from Gauss law. From Gauss law we know that what is equal to q by epsilon. Okay, so here we have to know what is charge q. Here charge ఇక్కడ q అనేది దేనికి సమానం అవుతుంది అంటే, సో ఫస్ట్ నేను ఏం రాస్తున్నానండి, మనకు చార్జ్ డెన్సిటీ అంటే తెలుసు. చార్జ్ డెన్సిటీ ఏంటి సార్ అంటే rho is equal to q by v. Charge density what? Charge per unit value. This is called charge density. So I am writing, see here q is equal to rho v. Okay, so q means here equals to దీన్ని పక్క పెట్టేస్తున్నాను అండ్ ఇక్కడ q is equal to 2v రాస్తున్నాను. q means ఇక్కడ నేను q డాష్ అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఓకే, సో q డాష్ ఏంటి సార్, q ఏంటి అని కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వకండి. q డాష్ వచ్చేసి మనకు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి గాసియన్ సర్ఫేస్ లోపల చార్జ్ q డాష్ అండ్ q వచ్చేసి టోటల్ చార్జ్ q. సో ఇప్పుడు మనకు గాసియన్ సర్ఫేస్ లో కావాలి కాబట్టి q డాష్ కావాలి. q డాష్ కోసం మళ్ళీ ఏం చేస్తారంటే మనకు q డాష్ ఏం రాసుకోవచ్చు అంటే మనకు ఈ ఫార్మ్ నుంచి బై యూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఫార్ములా చార్జ్ డెన్సిటీ డో ఈక్వల్ q బై v నుంచి q ఈక్వల్ టు rho into v రాస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, rho. So rho means again I am writing q total charge, c total charge by total value into here v means what? Volume of Gaussian sphere. See, very important again, q dash is equal to total charge q, total value means, so volume of the sphere, we have to know that volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. చూడండి ఇక్కడ వాల్యూమ్ వచ్చేసి 4 by 3 pi r cube సమానం. వేర్ క్యాపిటల్ అంటే ఏంటిది అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ఈ మన చార్జ్ స్పియర్ యొక్క వాల్యూమ్, సారీ రేడియస్. ఓకే, అండ్ వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ గాసియన్ స్పియర్ ఏమవుతుంది సార్ అంటే ఇది మాత్రమే, అప్పుడు అది 4 by 3 pi r cube అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ స్మాల్ r అనేది ఏంటిది, క్యాపిటల్ అనేది జాగ్రత్తగా గమనించండి. స్మాల్ r అనేది ఏంటంటే గాసియన్ సర్ఫేస్ స్పియర్ యొక్క రేడియస్ అండ్ క్యాపిటల్ అనేది ఏంటంటే టోటల్ స్పియర్ యొక్క రేడియస్. సో దీంట్లో క్యాన్సిలేషన్ అయితే 4 by 3 pi క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు ఏం అవుతుంది సార్ అంటే q డాష్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు q r క్యూబ్, ఇది మిగులుతుంది మనకు. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈక్వేషన్ ఇది 3 అగైన్ ఫ్రమ్ 2 and 3 చూడండి, పై ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఇక్కడ q డాష్ బదులు నేను రాస్తానంటే ఇదంతా రాయాలి అంటే q r క్యూబ్ బై ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ అలాగే ఉంటుంది. ఇది ఈక్వేషన్ 4. ఓకే, ఈక్వేషన్ 4 తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే మనకు ఈక్వేషన్ 1 and 4 నుంచి మనకు ఫైనల్ ఈక్వేషన్ వస్తుంది. సో నౌ ఈక్వేషన్ ఫ్రమ్ ఈక్వేషన్ 1 and 4, see from 1 and 4 I am writing, so 1 means e into 4 pi r square is equal to fourth one again pi q r cube by epsilon naught r cube. So this is the, and I am writing r square వెళ్ళిపోతుంది e equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r by r cube. Okay, here I am writing e proportional to, okay, no need to write, e is equal to sorry q, c equal q by 4 pi epsilon naught small r ఉంటుంది r cube ఉంటుంది. Okay, so this is the third case. So once again see here this formula indicates electric field intensity at the inside the charge sphere. Okay, inside the charge sphere inside ఉన్నటువంటి ఎనీ పాయింట్ వద్ద మనకు ఈ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఇంటెన్సిటీ చూపిస్తుంది. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ది 3 కేసెస్. సో ఫస్ట్ ది ఏం చూసాము, అవుట్ సైడ్ ద స్పియర్, సెకండ్ వచ్చేసి సర్ఫేస్ ఆఫ్ ది స్పియర్, అండ్ థర్డ్ వచ్చేసి ఇన్సైడ్ ద స్పియర్. సో ఈ విధంగా 3 కేసెస్ అనుకుంటే మనకు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ఇంటెన్స్ డ్యూ టు యూనిఫామ్లీ చార్జ్ స్పియర్ అనేది కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. Hi friends, good morning. Myself, I am D. Kishore, lecturer in physics, Government Degree College for Women, Siddipet. Okay, today we are discussing about applications of Gauss law. In previous video, we are discussed about one of application, that is electric field due to a sphere which is uniformly charged. Okay, that was already seen. So in this video we are going to discuss two applications. In that, first application is electric field due to infinite conducting sheet of charge. Okay, so and one thing, first I will explain this application. End of this application I will give the notes also. Okay, we will start the application. So that is electric field due to infinite conducting sheet of charge. Okay, so for that term I will draw a diagram. See that. See carefully. So this is a sheet of charge which is uniformly distributed on the surface of the sheet. Okay, this is a infinite conducting sheet of charge. Okay, so as shown in the figure, a charge conducting surface of charge density is sigma. We have to determine the electric field at a point P, which is outside or near the surface of conductor or sheet of charge. For this we construct a cylindrical Gaussian surface. See here, I will draw a this is a cylindrical Gaussian surface. So that is a imaginary surface. We can simply known as imaginary surface. Okay, see here, this is a right end, and this is the left end, and this is the middle of the sphere. Okay, middle of the cylinder. Okay, and here the direction of DSE also have. So what will happen? See, so the direction of electric field near the surface is perpendicular to the surface as conducting in an equipotential surface. It is obvious from the figure the electric flux through the cylindrical Gaussian surface results from the two ends and curved surface of the cylinder. At the right end, E is parallel to ds. So E and ds parallel means the angle between E and ds will be 0, and at left end there is no electric field. So this is the left end. So this is the one other side of the charged sheet, there is no charge. Okay, therefore the flux through the two ends will be 0 respectively. Okay, so left end, right end, both are 0. Left end means there is no charge. Right end means here the E and ds will be parallel to each other. That's why the angle between these two will be 0. So the electric flux through the curved surface is 0, and as E and ds are perpendicular. So simply I am writing, see here, pi is equal to integration EDS plus integration EDS. So what is this 3 terms it is? Here the 3 terms means this is the right end flux, this is the left end flux, and this is the curved surface flux, curved surface. So here pi is equal to, I am writing this G sorry, this is ES, because here they are parallel. So here left hand 0 and curved surface also 0. Okay, so we know that according to Gauss law, according to Gauss law, what is the Gauss law? We know that E is equal, sorry, pi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. That is, the total flux will be equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times to the charge enclosed within the surface. Okay, and we know that here we written, that is charge density. So what is charge density? So that is Q by S. So the charge per unit surface is called, the charge per unit surface is called charge density, and we can add Q is equal to sigma S. Okay, I'm writing this ES is equation 1, equation 2, from this is equation 3. See, from 2 and 3, see here, pi is equal to, I'm writing instead of Q, sigma S by epsilon naught. This is equation 4. Okay, now equation 1 and 4, see here, this and this, equation 1 and 4, I'm writing, what I'm writing, see here, E into S is equal to sigma into S by epsilon naught. SS cancel. Okay, so we'll get E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. If we compare these results with the field due to a plane sheet of charge having surface density sigma, then we observe that the field, this curve is twice that in case of plane sheet. Okay, so this is the first case, that is the electric field due to an infinite conducting sheet of charge. Okay, once it's very simple and important for short bit, once see. So first we have to consider a sheet of charge. So that is, this is an infinite conducting sheet of charge, and here the electric field will be uniformly distributed. Okay, so in order to determine the electric field, so we have to consider a point which is outside the sheet of charge. So that's why consider a point. So here point is at P. Consider a point P which is outside the sheet of charge. Next, so in order to determine electric field intensity at P, we have to construct a Gaussian surface. So that is, I'm constructing a Gaussian, that is imaginary cylinder. Okay, so this imaginary cylinder has three faces: left end, right end, and this curved surface. So here we have to take this electric flux in three cases, that is right end, left end, and surface. Here left end there is no charge. Okay, so no charge means no flux, that is 0. Curved surface means here E and ds will be perpendicular. E and ds will be perpendicular. So theta is equal to 90 means cos 90 will be 0. So that's why here also there is no flux. Here no flux, here no flux. Only at the right end, the E and ds will be parallel to each other. Then the value of theta will be 0. Then cos 0 value 1. So that's why I am writing only pi is equal to E into S. This only term will be there. So these two terms will be 0. Okay, this is equation 1. Next I am writing according to Gauss law. We know the Gauss law, pi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Equation 2. And next I am writing sigma. What is sigma? This is the charge density. So we can write surface charge density also. So what is surface charge density? Means the charge per unit surface is called as surface charge density. And writing Q is equal to sigma into S. From 2 and 3, instead of Q, I am writing sigma into S. So pi is equal to sigma S by epsilon naught. Okay. So equation 4. From 1 and 4, you can compare 1 and 4. E into S is equal to sigma S by epsilon naught. So SS cancel means E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. This equation indicates that electric field intensity or electric field due to an infinite conducting sheet of charge. Okay, so this is our first case. So after this I will kept the one sheet which belongs to this notes. You can note it. ఓకే, దీని తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు ఒక షీట్ వస్తుంది, ఒక దీనికి సంబంధించినటువంటి ఒక షీట్, అది దీనికి సంబంధించిన నోట్స్, దాన్ని నోట్ చేసుకోవాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను. ఓకే, okay friends, this is the second application, that is electric field due to an infinitely long charge distribution. This is also very important, and this is the we know that this is the second application. Already one first application we will see just now. Okay, so here first infinitely long charge. So that is, so suppose this is the infinite long charge. Okay, as the charge distribution is linear, we consider our this is a long charge cable, and so here also we have to determine electric field. Okay, so that's why consider a point P which is outside the infinitely long charge. Okay, so consider P which is at a distance r from this infinitely long charge distribution. Okay, so we consider a cylindrical gas in surface of radius r and length L as shown in figure. Here, in order to determine the electric field at P, we construct a Gaussian surface of radius r and length L. So this is the length and this is r is the radius. Okay, so again all the points on the curved surface are at the same perpendicular distance from the line charge. So the direction of the field at any point on the curved surface is normal to the line, that is normal to the cylindrical surface. So here next what I am saying here, in order to determine the electric field at P, consider or construct a small area of ds around P. Okay, so the net flux through the generally the net flux, total flux through the cylindrical Gaussian surface is, I am writing pi is equal to that is EDS, or we simply we can write EDS cos theta. Okay, and I am writing integration EDS. Why? Because theta is equal to 0. That means here the direction of E and ds will be parallel to each other. That's why, because of this is a uniformly charged sheet of charge. Okay, so the angle between E and ds will be 0. So that's why cos 0 value will be 1. Next I am writing E ds. So here S. So what is S here? S is equal to, that is the area of cylinder. What is the formula of area of cylinder? That is 2 pi r L, where L is the length and r is the radius of the cylinder. Okay, I am writing so pi is equal to C, E into S means I am writing 2 pi r L. That is equation 1. Okay, so next we have to know the charge density. Here charge density means the charge enclosed by the gas surface. So I am writing lambda is equal to Q by L. So what is this? So here we are writing this, and lambda means that is surface, that is volume charge density, that is linear charge density, that is charge per unit length. Charge per unit length is called as charge density. So So we know that from Gauss law. From Gauss law, what is Gauss law? You know that pi is equal to q by epsilon naught, and this is q is equal to lambda into L. So I'm writing q, instead of q I'm writing lambda L by epsilon naught. Equation 2. Okay, that is equation 2. Lambda L by epsilon naught, that is equation 2 from Gauss law. So you know the Gauss law, and instead of q I'm substituting this value here, so that is lambda L by epsilon naught. From 1 and 2, from 1 and 2, see, E into 2 pi RL is equal to lambda L by epsilon naught, and L will cancel, and I'm writing E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by R. Okay, this is the very important formula for electric field due to an infinitely long charge distribution. Okay, so and end of this I will kept that one sheet. You can note that, write the notes also. So once again see what here we are discussed. So this is the second application of Gauss law, that is electric field due to an infinitely long charge distribution. Okay, so consider this is the first, this is a infinitely long charge, a cable or a distribution of a long charge. So here we have to find the electric field near this long charge distribution. That's why consider a point P which is near to this long charge. So here, in order to determine electric field intensity or electric field at P, construct or imagine a Gaussian cylinder. This is the Gaussian cylinder. So suppose now the length of this cylinder will be L, radius R. So here the at P, so consider a small element ds also. So here the electric field vector and ds, that is direction, that is area vector, will be in the same direction. That is, they parallel to each other. That's why the angle between these two will be 0. Then the cos 0 value will be 1. Okay, so now see, so this is the total electric flux through this cylindrical Gaussian surface, that is pi is equal to integration EDS. So I am writing a dot, instead of dot we can write cos theta, and theta cos theta value will be 1. So that's why I am writing EDS. And this is the very important formula. What is S here? S means area of cylinder. So what is area of cylinder? That is 2 pi RL, where R is the radius, L is the length of the cylinder. So okay, so so I'm substituting this S value in this above equation. We can get equation 1. And next to lambda, we have to know lambda. So lambda is, that is charge per unit length. Charge per unit length is called as lambda, that is charge density, that is Q is equal to lambda L. So we know that from Gauss law, pi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Instead of Q, I am writing lambda L. This is the equation 2. And compare equation 1 and 2, we will get E equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by R. Okay, this is the second application. And next we will I will show that I will kept one sheet of paper for this material. Okay, please make a note. Okay, thank you.